From the Fox 5 studios, this is the RebZone Sports Show.
Hey, welcome into the RebZone. We have been flying all over the country this month with the Runnin' Rebels. San Diego, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, San Jose. We're finally back in the Fox 5 studios tonight. You know, Coach, I can't remember the last time we did a show here, maybe 2021. We've been busy. I mean, UNLV played 4 games in 1 week, making up COVID-19 postponed games this month. An 80-55 road loss at San Diego State on Monday made the Runnin' Rebels hungry to fight against Colorado State on Friday night. Bryce Hamilton putting on a clinic, a show at Moby Arena, racking up 42 career-high points. Big road dub, big statement from the Runnin' Rebels as they look to carry this momentum into Tuesday's rivalry matchup against UNR. Keep this thing going. Big road dub on the road. Welcome into the RebZone. Coach, it feels good to be back here, back in Vegas, back at home. It's been a busy month on the road, to say the least.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, it's pretty rare in college to play the stretch of games that these guys played, but 4 road games in 11 days, and as you mentioned, all over the West Coast, and so it is nice. It's nice to get back home, take a little bit of a breath.
Coach, your team has been hit with injuries, COVID, postponements. We've been flying every other day. What does it say about your team just coming out and fighting against Colorado State and coming out on top?
Yeah, just really proud of them. Just the way they banded together, continue to fight. The San Diego State game, of course, being a rough one, and then to finish up kind of this stretch of games in 11 days at Colorado State, the way they did was really impressive. The way they bounced back, the way they banded together. So just really proud of them.
And I know you guys were without Donovan Williams, Josh Baker, Marvin Coleman, so you guys really came out and stepped up. I know we said that Bryce Hamilton was going to have more of a load on his shoulders, but yeah. 42 career points. I mean, he really brought it out there.
No, he did. He knew he had to take on a little bit more of an aggressive start to the game. He knew we were going to be counted on a little more, maybe play longer stretches than he's used to, and he definitely answered the bell on that one.
Well, let's check out the Bryce Hamilton show in Fort Collins on Friday night. A packed house on Friday night at Moby Arena. The crowd was pumped up pregame, but fell pretty silent pretty quick. After a scoreless first 3 minutes of the game, Royce Ham Jr. lets it fly from the top of the key, and the Rebels are on the board first. Ain't no Ram stopping the Rolls Royce. Royce was out there dominating early as UNLV leads 11-6. Isaiah Rivera would knock down a big 3, but the Rams struggled to get any rhythm, shooting 32% in the first half. Bryce Hamilton, on the other hand, was heating up, melting that snow out there, knocking down 5 threes in the first half, racking up 21 first half points. B-Ham was killing it, and he kept it rolling in the second half, posting a career-high 42 points on Friday night. UNLV dominating 60-39. Later, Isaiah Stevens knocks down a big 3. Stevens led his team with 35 points, but Colorado State was still trailing 72-59. A minute left in the ball game. The freshman Keyshawn with that energy, tough bucket and one. Keyshawn, he's tough, man. UNLV dominates Colorado State on both ends of the floor, picking up the big road dub 88-74. And hey, shout out to that UNLV crowd out there as Hamilton is calling this his best game of the season.
College for sure. Yeah, it might be because it means so much more against a very good team, and playing on the road with a hostile environment. This is a very good one. I'll say it's probably one of my best games.
Best game of the season for Bryce, best game of his collegiate career, really. Did you like the fight and energy he brought, but not only from Bryce, just the other guys that stepped up off the bench too?
Yeah, I mean, Bryce's 42 points were obviously pivotal in the win, but I mean, David Muoka coming in with 11 points off the bench, Royce and Keyshawn just kind of doing what they do, and Jordan having 5 assists, Mike Nuga hitting some big shots, so it was a team effort. Everybody chipped in and did their part, and but yeah, I mean, that 42 points sticks out pretty big. But there's no question that had any of the plays not been made by anybody else that stepped in, the game could have gone differently.
I was asking Bryce, hey, are you tired after the game? You know, could you keep going? He was like, oh, no, I'm tired. I was like, all right, we can sit down and chill and cool off. But defensively, Coach, we were just talking about that effort we saw shutting them down. The best defensive performance this season from you guys?
Well, no question, especially in the first half. I thought the guys went out there and they just set a tone early that they were going to guard, they were going to compete. And when you got a team like Colorado State that scores it like they do, you have to let them know that you're gonna compete and fight. When they make tough shots, you're gonna live and you're gonna survive, but you're gonna try to do your best to make them earn it again on the next possession.
And we were talking about just practice during the week. After that San Diego State loss, did you see a different hunger in your guys' eyes, their intent, their energy preparing for the Rams?
Well, no question, because you can very easily walk into Moby Arena and have the same result that we did in San Diego State if we didn't have the right intent and conviction in practice. But the guys had an unbelievable 2 days of prep. Their mind was right because they wanted to go out and compete because they didn't really feel like we did what we wanted to do in San Diego.
Well, and you had time to get ready
That's
for
true
Colorado
too.
State.
That is
hey,
true.
You had time to prepare for an opponent. But let's take a look at San Diego State's highlights. Out to San Diego we go, where the Aztec student section was definitely not as packed as we're used to seeing. I thought the whole arena was a little empty, but the Runnin' Rebels came out fighting. Bryce Hamilton comes out with some heat from deep. Hamilton with 23 points and 6 rebounds on Monday night, and Royce Ham out there swatting shots away. Royce Ham doing Royce Ham things. But the Aztecs turned it up with a dunk show in the first half. SDSU jumps out to a 24-11 lead. Later, Justin Webster bringing some spark off the bench. Webby knocks down a big 3. We'll be sitting down with the junior guard tonight. UNLV trails 34-21. But the Aztecs dunk show continues as SDSU led by 19 at halftime, 42-23. Aztecs' Matt Bradley was lighting it up on Monday, posting a season high 27 points. SDSU leading 57-34. Webster continued to fight for his guys down the stretch, but SDSU takes the big dub 80-55. Hamilton told me this loss stung.
It hurts. We feel like we could compete with this team. We just didn't come out. We didn't start the game off with, any effort. They had a lot of points in the paint. First time we held them to, shooting below 40%. We was just about rebounding, but this time, they were just scoring and getting wherever they want. So that's just something we just got to do better at.
Hamilton's still fighting with 23 points and 6 rebounds, but what was your message to your guys after this game?
There wasn't really a lot of one. Just kind of get some sleep, eat right, notice what we did wrong, and try to get better from it.
4 games in 7 days. Was there a little fatigue on the team?
There could have been, but everybody in the conference is going to go through it at some point to make up all the rescheduled games. So we've gone through our stretch now, 4 games in 7 days, 4 road games in 11 days. So now we can kind of get back to our usual schedule of 2 games per week.
And getting back in practice, you're without Donovan, you're without Josh, you're without Marvin. What kind of response did you see from your guys in practice, just knowing that you may be shorthanded in Colorado State?
Yeah, I think it just kind of allowed us to break things down even more. When you got a smaller number, you don't have as many reps to go through. You can go through actions, you can go through ideas, but you don't have to rep it as many times because you don't have as many guys that are going to play. And that's where I thought the guys, just their intent, their conviction in the 2 days really showed.
Speaking of those 3 guys that are out right now, what's the progress? Can we get an update on them?
Yes, it is day to day. It's just one of those things where you've got to just see how they're feeling on that day. And luckily, nothing is season ending. So as soon as the doctor says they're good and they feel right mentally and physically, they're good to go.
All right, we'll see how the guys look in practice tomorrow, getting ready for Reno on Tuesday night. But coming up next, we're sitting down with Justin Webster. The junior guard has been a spark for the Runnin' Rebels when they need one. I learned that Webster has family ties with the Krugers, as Lon Kruger and Webster's dad go way back. Find out more after the break.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Welcome back, Paloma Villicana, Kevin Kruger, happy to be back in studio. We're sitting down with Justin Webster tonight. Webby, Webb, Webster, whatever he goes by.
Yeah.
I think, I'll be okay calling him Webby is what I've heard his coaches call him. But everyone in Vegas has definitely seen this guy come off the bench with some major heat this year, giving his team a spark and really stepping up when his number's called. The junior guard transferred to UNLV after playing 2 seasons at the University of Hawaii, where he He led his team in scoring last year, averaging 12.3 points per game, and led the team in three-pointers made with 34. The Dallas native has basketball in his blood, as I learned that he's trying to be a better basketball player than his dad was. Growing up in Dallas and just being around basketball, you know, was it your family, or how did you just fall in love with basketball?
My dad actually played basketball. He played basketball at the collegiate level, and then went on to play in the NBA and then went overseas. So, you know, he put a basketball in my hands when I was very young, and I kind of just ran with it. You know, I love the game. I love growing up into it, and so here I am now. So still trying to play, still trying to be better than my dad. So.
Where did your dad go to school? Where did he play?
My dad played at Oklahoma. One of the best players to come out of Oklahoma. Led Oklahoma. He was number 2 in scoring for Oklahoma until Buddy Hield passed him a couple years ago. And then he got drafted in the second round, went to the Miami Heat, and then got traded to the Washington Bullets at the time, but the Wizards now. And then he went on overseas and then played there, and then once my sister was born, he retired. So,
what's that like, having your dad? Does he call you? Does he text you? Is he always on you?
Yeah, always. You know, he always calls me. He'll always text me. And after the game, he'll be like, "Hit me." So I'll call him. We'll talk about the game, and he's just telling me things that I need to do better, stuff I can improve on. And he's just a great father figure, great person to have. A lot of people aren't blessed to have a father that's been through the stuff I've been through, and trying to go places that I'm trying to go. So it's definitely, he's definitely someone I can always lean on and always ask for advice.
I want to talk about Hawaii and that experience that you had there and what you learned in Hawaii.
Hawaii, I went there, was really a recruited player coming out of high school. They was one of the only teams that took a chance on me. So I went there with the mindset of I have to prove myself. Coach Gannett is a great coach. He let me go there. He let me prove myself day in and day out. And I really love the experience. I have no bad taste with those guys. I still talk to all my boys out there. And I love all those guys. Obviously, they're doing very well right now, so I'm very happy for them. But, just that experience was eye-changing for me. It got me to realize how college basketball is, to adjust to that level, how fast the game is. So I really take what I learned from there and try to apply it here too. So it's been very well.
While you were in the transfer portal, why Kevin Kruger? Why Las Vegas? Why UNLV?
That's actually a funny story. When my dad was in high school, Lon Kruger was at Kansas State at the time. So Lon Kruger was recruiting my dad. And my dad ended up not going. He ended up going to Oklahoma. But my dad always said that if he didn't go to Oklahoma, he would have went to Kansas State, because he always had this thing with Coach Krug. And so, when the opportunity presented itself and Coach Kruger called me, I was just like, I love everything he had to say. I love the opportunity he was giving to me, and I was like, I have to take it. You know what I'm saying? So, I really give thanks to him for giving me this opportunity and blessing me with this opportunity. So,
do you already feel like your game has improved so much here at UNLV?
Definitely has, especially defensively. At Hawaii, I didn't really have to play. I had to play defense, but it wasn't a necessity for me. Basically just stay in front of my man. Don't give up easy looks, stuff like that. Here, it's just like I have to guard one-on-one, get through ball screens. Don't let the ball go into the post. Just fight overall. So definitely here, I've definitely gotten a whole lot better defensively, and knowing defense assignments, knowing where I'm supposed to be at. So I definitely give credit to them for that.
Just moving forward, what more do you want to see from yourself this season?
Just making shots. I'm not shooting the ball particularly as well as I can. I came from Hawaii where I was shooting 50% from the field and 45 from 3, and right now I'm not really shooting the ball that well. So I just want to be able to just knock down shots and take the load off of Bryce and Donovan. We lean on them so much for scoring, so I feel like I come in there and really get a load off their back and open up the game for them. So hopefully just doing those things.
Great time sitting down with Webby. What I noticed from him was he was incredibly mature, polite, great manners. Seems like he comes from a great family. Says he has family ties with you guys.
Yeah.
Why bring him to your program?
Well, I think if you listen to what he just said, that's exactly why. He's somebody who recognizes his strengths. He recognizes what he needs to get better at to help the team, to get on the floor. His awareness of getting out there, knocking down open shots, guarding his guys so it opens up the floor for guys like Bryce and Donovan. He understands just where what he does well fits in with what other guys do well, and that's what makes the team better. And just incredibly proud of Webb. Happy he's here. He's somebody who's gotten a lot better in terms of what we asked. He's always been a great player, but I think there was just a little bit of a learning adjustment towards each other. And I think he's somebody that with every game that's come lately, there's more and more trust with Webb. His confidence has gone up, and his minutes will continue to go up. His role will continue to expand as he continues to just do what he's been doing.
And he seems like he always has a positive attitude. He seems like a great teammate.
Oh, he's an unbelievable teammate. He's always positive. He's always got a smile. He's the same guy every day. Every morning when he walks in the gym, he's going to greet you the exact same way.
Yeah.
So, no, we really are lucky that he ended up choosing UNLV.
Yeah, the Texas boys have that Southern swag to them, so sweet and polite. But coming up next, UNR is coming into town on Tuesday night. Wear red and pack the MAC for a 7:30 tip-off. UNLV looking to get healthy, get Donovan Williams, Josh Baker, and Marvin Coleman back, and take down the Wolfpack. Coming up next, we'll break down UNR's 78-49 loss against Utah State last night on their home court.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
UNLV is getting ready to host their rivals, UNR, on Tuesday night at 7:30. The Wolfpack are 9-9 this season and have dropped 2 straight to Colorado State and Utah State. Last night, they were dominated by the Aggies, 78-49, a game that started off bad for UNR and really only got worse. The Wolfpack had no answer offensively or defensively as 6 Aggies finished the night in double figures. UNR was led by their senior guard, Desmond Cambridge, who finished the night with 12 points and 7 rebounds. But, Coach, we were kind of just saying that the Wolfpack are going through what you guys went through with COVID-19 postponed games, playing several games in a row, and maybe fatigue is hitting their team right now.
It could be. Yeah, they're in the middle of a really tough stretch, a lot of games in a short number of days, which is exactly what we experienced. But I think as much as anything, you see the score of the Utah State game, and it's pretty similar to ours at San Diego State.
Yeah.
So, and then our guys bounced back, and Coach Alford's probably the most accomplished coach in our conference, but certainly one of the most respected in the country. So to think that we're just going to go play on Tuesday and it's going to be a similar result, I don't think we'll like the ending if we do that.
So they got a chip on their shoulder.
Absolutely.
And they're coming down to Vegas like they're ready to go.
Absolutely. No, the Reno-Vegas game is always a big one. So we know they'll come out swinging, and we've got to understand that.
Well, last year you guys played that weird COVID schedule. It was 2 back-to-back games in Reno. Not the outcome you guys wanted out in Reno last year. What do you know about this Wolfpack team and playing for UNLV as well?
Yeah, I mean, Sherfield and Cambridge being their leading scorers. Will Baker, the big transfer from Texas. Donovan and Royce know him, so there's some familiarity there. But we definitely have our work cut out for us. Sherfield and Cambridge are really good players. Blackshear playing well, Foster off the bench. So it'll be a 40-minute fight. We know that, and that's what we expect. But as you mentioned, we got to come early, cheer loud, wear red is a thing we used to say at UNLV, and I think it needs to apply here as well.
And Coach, you want to get guys back healthier. Donovan's day to day. These guys are day to day. What's the mindset in practice? Is it still, step up, keep fighting, if you're shorthanded or not?
No question. I think the biggest mistake we could make is stepping off the gas as coaches. We've just got to continue to demand more out of them, and I think their intent's been great. Their desire's been great to get better. So if we can just have 2 good days of practice leading into Reno, we'll give it a good fight.
And Coach, when it's a rivalry game, are the records, are they just thrown out?
Absolutely. Anytime there's a rivalry game, the records are thrown out. What happened last week is thrown out.
Right.
So again, it's going to be 40 minutes. We know that. The fans will be good. The energy will be great. So it should be a fun night.
All right, it's go time Tuesday night at the Thomas & Mack. UNLV is going all out for this rivalry matchup. Hear what's in store for students and fans coming up next.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Hey, did you catch Coach Kruger handing out free tickets at Canes this week? We've been traveling every other day, but Coach still has time to give back to the UNLV community. Get to the UNR game early on Tuesday night. Tip-off is set for 7:30, but there will be a pregame tailgate party outside the Thomas & Mack starting at 5:30 with free Raising Canes and food trucks. There will be games, live DJ giveaways, free t-shirts, and a chance to win Raising Canes for a year. That all sounds fun to me. And Coach Kruger wants to to see a packed MAC on Tuesday night. Did you know students could also win a pair of custom Nike shoes this season? You just got to have a valid school ID and attend each of the final 6 men's basketball games. And the Lady Rebels rivalry game against UNR on March 2nd. Punch cards are being handed out to students attending games. Free shoes, free tickets, free food, rivalry matchup on Tuesday. Turn up. It'll be a fun one on Tuesday night. But Coach, we were kind of just talking off camera. Big game on Tuesday. We're finally at home in our own beds. You know, we have some time to be at home. Is it nice for you and your guys to be at home this week?
It is. It's just great for everybody to take a breath. You know, wake up one morning, you know, spend some time with family, kind of take a deep breath before going in the office, getting to work.
And what does this do for your guys just to be back on a schedule, be back at practice, you know, be back at Mendenhall and kind of have some stability right now?
Yeah, I think, you know, athletes like routines. You know, they've got their routines, they've got what they expect. Not a big fan of audibles, and now we can kind of get back into that routine. Guys can get in the gym at their normal times before practice, do what their pre-practice routines, because when you got games stacked on top of each other, sometimes you just try to stay off your feet.
And we were just saying, it is so rare that we've had this schedule of so many games on the road with COVID and everything, but are you proud of your entire staff, you know, coming home, sleeping, getting on the plane the next day, just going through this crazy schedule we've had?
Without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, of course, the coaches that are on the bench have done a phenomenal job maintaining their relationships and the responsibilities with the guys, but then you've also got recruiting, then you've got, but Brian Lindell and LV, strength and conditioning and training, have had their work cut out for them because we've had guys banged up. Yeah. It hasn't been a lot of time to get rehab, to get treatment before getting out to the next game. So really just proud of everybody for these last 2 weeks.
All right, Coach, you fired up for Tuesday night?
Very fired up. Very fired up.
All right, let's go. UNR on Tuesday night, 7:30, a big rivalry matchup. Wear red, get free canes, get free shoes, get free tickets. We'll see you Tuesday night at UNLV.
Thanks for watching Fox 5 News. Watch us live wherever you are, on our mobile, on our streaming news app. And you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV.